this video, I'll be talking about the May 16, 2023 competition details that we know so far, which features the 4 cheese pizza meta, and I'll also be showcasing a very good no NFT 4 cheese pizza build. As of recording this video, they haven't made a formal announcement with all the details, but I would suggest checking the Gala Games Discord and check the Townstar announcements channel for all the up-to-date information. I'll be referring to the Townstar playbook in this part, which is a resource I created with tons of information for Townstar. I highly suggest you check it out if you don't know about it, because this can be a game changer to help you win competitions. You can find a link to the Townstar playbook in the description of this video. Here's what I know. The next competition starts on May 16th, 2023, 12 p.m. Central Time, so the same start time as the last one. The reward structure is the same as the last one. So top 1200 will win both Gala and an NFT reward. I don't know what the exact NFT is for this competition, but as soon as I do, I will post it in this section of the playbook. You can check the competition list page and scroll down to see the rewards for previous competitions and check if they have been paid out already or not. The May Mayhem achievements are still going on. They started on May 1st, 2023, and it ends on July 31st, 2023. Each achievement can only be done once. The first 3 achievements can be completed in the casual server. The other achievements must be completed in the events page, which is the competition server. The next meta will be 4 cheese pizza, a brand new item that is similar to shrimp pizza, but actually easier to accomplish, in my opinion. You're not going to need to worry about making ice blocks to make a seafood warehouse for this one, thankfully. It is crafted in the Italian restaurant. It requires 1 pizza base, 2 cheese, and 5 tomatoes. It takes 30 seconds to craft, and it is stored in a storehouse. If you're wondering why it's called a 4 cheese pizza, that's because it actually uses 4 cheese, 2 cheese for the pizza base, and then 2 more on top of that to make it into a 4 cheese pizza. Unlike the shrimp pizza, the 4 cheese pizza uses way more milk. Exactly 50% more. What I mean by that is that the shrimp pizza used 8 milk in total, and the 4 cheese pizza uses 12 milk in total. So you will need a lot more milk for this meta. You will also need more tomatoes, but getting more tomatoes won't be any issue. The biome adjustments for this meta are the following. You will play in a plains biome. There will be a river edge on the east side and an ocean edge on the west side. Just so I can address this in the video, as of recording, the scrubs cost 40,000 cash to clear. I do not know if this will stay or not. I personally don't care. I know some people hate it, but to me, it's just part of the challenge. And honestly, you should definitely expect things like that to happen in the near future. Like we were warned about this months ago, guys. The metas can get crazy. Expect to see things like 1 million cash to clear trees or 3 gasoline per sale in some metas. It is part of the challenge and you are intended to work around it. Anyways, this might get fixed or not. I do not know for sure, but I thought I would address that while recording this video. The trades will be the same as the previous competition, 1 minute and 20 seconds to sell and only 1 gasoline per sale. And it won't always be that easy, as in it might be 5 minutes to sell next time, who knows. Anyways, that's all I have for the details, so let's get into what you guys really want to see. So this is my no NFT 4 cheese pizza build. It is using the new biome setup, so I have the river on the east side and the ocean on the west side. I'm going to rotate the town so you can see it from each direction. Feel free to pause the video. I'm also going to have the stats for everything shown on the right. So this is also on the new plains biome. It had a lot of pastures and scrubs, but I got rid of all of that. This build is doing about 22 4 cheese pizza per hour, which in my opinion is pretty damn impressive. It's pretty balanced on everything. It's overproducing sugar and salts, which technically could let you push up the rates even higher if you somehow fixed the dilemma with needing more milk, and also I think more flour is required. Mostly milk. I think most people's issue will be not enough milk to make more cheese in order to actually make more 4-cheese pizza. But I left it like this, 22 4-cheese pizza per hour. That, I think that's pretty good. So there is room for improvement. I'm not even sure what to suggest, to be honest. All I know is that you're gonna need more milk. So without any NFTs to help you there, I'm not really sure what you could do, but it's possible you could figure something out to improve the rate. So I am going to talk about what everything is making. I'm going to start from the top. So the 4-cheese pizza is being made in these 2 Italian restaurants. Behind that, I have the 2 Italian restaurants making the pizza base. Next to that, I have 2 bakeries making dough. Next to that, 2 bakeries making butter. I also want to point out the way I have some buildings rotated is very important. The bakeries making butter are actually facing this way, and that makes it so where the bakers have to walk a farther distance to get to the storehouse. This is going to affect the rate they make butter. It's actually lowering it, and that's important because I want less butter and I want more cheese. So that's why you'll see some buildings rotated differently than other buildings. And yeah, I'll point that out with some other buildings right now. So after that, this mixing tent right here is the only one making cheese. It's going to quickly get all the items from the storehouses. Speaking of which, once again, 4 storehouses, which gives you plenty of storage so things don't jam. You could manage with 3 storehouses. I don't think you can manage with less than that. And even at 3 storehouses, you run the risk of jamming your storehouses. And yeah, if you jam your storehouses, you're gonna regret it. Things are not going to be selling, and you're just gonna be affecting your rate negatively. Moving forward, 2 mixing tents right here, crafting white rice. They have 1 passive energy from the power plant nearby. 3 sauce facilities. So this one right here is making tomato paste, and as you can see, it's rotated facing the tomato farm. This causes the sauce dude, the sauce alchemist, to have to walk a little bit further to collect the tomatoes from the silo, reducing the tomato paste rate because it was already overproducing. It was making like 55 per hour. This little rotation dropped it to 48 per hour, which allows me to have more rice vinegar for the cheese. The other 2 sauce facilities are making rice vinegar. They're facing forward so they can get the materials faster. They're in these 2 specific spots because these spots have 2 passive water and this spot does not, so I can't change that up. Let's see what else. I might just have to explain the windmills now. So yeah, I'm gonna explain the windmills. Well, first the silos. I have 2 silos, one right here and one right here. This silo specifically is for the brine because the salt fields are nearby, and this silo will get everything else. But yeah, I'll talk about the windmills first. I have 5 windmills right here making sugar. These 5, just 5 gives me enough sugar. Because they're close to the silo, they have to make 3 trips. And yeah, I guess they make sugar fast enough. Over here, a total of 9 windmills making salt. Well, 10 windmills, sorry. So a total of 10 windmills. We got 9 windmills right here making salt, and then this one over here is also making salt. So 10 windmills total making salt. They all go to the silo. It's quick, they're close to it. And all the other windmills are making flour. That includes these 3 and all this over here, which is another 20. So that's 23 windmills making flour. I'm going to talk about the crops next. A total of 14 tree farms. There is 3 rice fields. You could probably do this with 2, but I think I was not making enough rice vinegar. I may be wrong there. So 3 will work. And these 3 spots have 8 passive water. That's why there's 2 ponds right here to support that. 3 sugarcane fields. It's more than enough for all the sugar and rice vinegar. 4 wheat fields, which is enough for all the flour that this build is making. A total of 3 tomato farms. Good for all the tomato paste and the tomatoes required for the 4 cheese pizza. You will end up auto selling like sugarcane, tomatoes, wheat, husk rice. You will end up auto selling all this, but it is making enough gasoline to support that. And that is all for the crops. So I'll talk about the livestock. Just 1 chicken coop gives more than enough eggs. And it's a total of 14 milk barns for this one, since so much milk is required. As for the meadows, you could see the exact number on the stats that I showed earlier, but it is over 40 meadows in this, probably 45 or somewhere around there. Tons of meadows to support all these milk barns and the chicken coop. And like I said, even with that, there's not enough milk being produced for enough cheese to support a rate higher than 22 per hour. Because I think if you had just a few more milk, you could hit 25 per hour with this. And even then, there's other things that would allow you to support near 30 per hour. But yeah, the milk is the biggest issue there. As for the other buildings, so there's 6 loggers, and there's 6 tractors, and there's 3 ATVs. The industrial section here. Oh, and for the crops, I have 5 salt fields. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. This design actually supports 6 salt fields, but I realized that the 6th one is not necessary. It's already overproducing salt with just 5 salt fields, but it does support 6. And that's why we have ponds here for the passive water for the salt fields. So yeah, I forgot to mention that, but now I'll talk about the industrial section. So we got your standard industrial setup here. Notice how I decided to put it on this side instead of, say, the ocean side. I realized that this way would be better because then I can have my mixing tents close to the silo that stores the husk rice. This will allow me to make white rice faster. So yeah, these require the passive energy, and I get that from the power plant. So that's why I decided to have this set up here. So the 1 pond with the 2 water pumps connected to it, 2 power plants, the refinery in the middle crafting gasoline, the refinery to the side making petroleum, fuel storage next to the refinery making petroleum, and a total of 3 oil pumps. Crude oil is being picked up by the forklift. This is the lumber mill, which you use to make lumber to build everything. In the end, you don't actually use it. I could get rid of it and replace it for another oil pump or, say, another building. And the warehouse is where you would store your energy. You would craft energy either from the power plant or a wind turbine somewhere else. But yes, in the end, you could also get rid of the warehouse. I don't actually show any lumber storages here, but ideally, when you're almost done finishing your build, you would have a lumber storage or lumber yard. Somewhere where you have a meadow, just place down the storage there, and as soon as you're completely done with everything, you would get rid of it and replace it with a meadow. So that's how that works. And yeah, that's the entire build explained. Well, we got our trade depot in the top left, but yeah, that's the entire build explained. I tend to not show the auto cells, but basically put everything on auto cell. Like, I'm not kidding, put everything. You don't have to put the gasoline. You probably shouldn't in case something messes up. So I don't put gasoline on auto cell, but basically everything else is on auto cell. On some items, I have a higher keep amount like sugarcane and wheat. I put at sell amount 12. That means if it sells 10, I still have at least 2 for my windmills to work with. But mostly everything else, I just have a sell amount of 1. This one is actually supposed to be sell amount of 12, yeah. So I noticed even at sell amount of 1, as soon as you get 10 of the product, you're just going to sell it. So yeah, sell all of your excess stuff. Put everything on auto sell. You don't have to put gasoline though. I don't think you should. But yeah, everything's on auto sell. So yeah, that's the entire build explained. I hope this helps you out a lot. I would greatly appreciate it if you could like this video. You can leave a comment with any feedback or questions you still have, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so you don't miss out on my content, because sometimes I'll post these videos right before the competition starts, and whoever watches them gets a good advantage, and whoever doesn't, well, they might miss out. So you don't want to miss out, so subscribe if you haven't. I do plan on live streaming the next competition. Sometimes I don't always say that, but yes, I do plan on live streaming. You can feel free to watch and hang out and ask any questions while the competition is still going on. And I usually post stuff like that on my Discord. If you haven't done so, feel free to join my Discord. Link is in the description of the video as well. And that's everything. So I appreciate your support and thank you for watching.